In this video, Karen creates a pretty piece of wearable Valentine's Day art on a smaller scale. Karen starts with a heart-shaped sticker, carefully cutting the wrapper from the stickers because she's going to use the plastic later to wrap the rose. The sticker is placed on a piece of red or pink cardstock. Karen used a note card, but you can buy colored cardstock at any stationery store. After cutting around the outside of the sticker, Karen uses the heart she just cut as a template for the bottom of the box. She also cuts a strip of cardstock that she'll use for the sides. The width of the strip will be the height of the box. She folds the strip and then curls the ends in toward the point in the middle. This breaks the fibers of the cardstock and makes it easier to bend and shape. Karen puts a blob of glue on her tray to work with. She's using tacky glue. If you're using white glue, you might want to let it sit out for a few minutes to thicken. Karen uses a toothpick to apply glue along the edge of one side of the heart. Then she presses the strip of cardstock along the line of glue, starting with the fold. In a previous video, Karen put the fold at the top of the heart. This time she tried it at the bottom. Having tried it both ways, she finds that she prefers to have the fold at the top. After trimming the one side to length, Karen holds the strip against the glue for about 30 seconds to set it. Then she applies glue to the other side and repeats the process. She also applies glue to the seam. Don't worry if the glue slops over a little. It will dry clear. Then she applies glue along the strip. Before putting the bottom on the box, Karen signs it with her name and the date. Then she gently presses the bottom of the box into place. She puts more glue along the seams to strengthen them. While the box is drying, Karen starts working on the rose. For petals and leaves, she punches shapes out of recycled Christmas tissue. You can also use colored printer paper in green and red or some other appropriate rose color. Karen collects brightly colored notices we get from school for craft projects like these. For the previous video, she used flower and leaf-shaped punches, but for this video she'll use a plain round hole punch to show how well it can work. Karen starts building up the rose one punch at a time. The first one is attached to the end of a piece of floral wire and pinched and twirled on. After that, Karen works her way down the stem, gluing the punches on and pinching less and less as she goes so that the petals fan out into a fully bloomed rose. The receptacle at the bottom of the petals is made from a single green punch, glued and pinched in much the same way as the first petal in the blossom. Two more green punches make leaves. Karen folds each punch in half and then glues just one tip to the floral wire. Next, Karen is going to create some greenery behind the rose. She's using leaf-shaped punches, but you can use hand-cut slivers as well. The idea is to give the illusion of a fern. It's more like Impressionist art than it is like realism. Karen starts with a single leaf at the top of a piece of floral wire, then works the leaves around and out as she goes down the stem. One of the reasons she likes using tissue paper is that it can be pressed in and shaped to the right size. Karen compares the rose to the fern until she's satisfied that the fern is long enough. Then she sets the fern aside to dry. Karen makes a greeting card envelope from an actual envelope that she disassembled. This gives her white inside and color outside, and also shows her the shape to cut out for her miniature version. She pre-creases the folds so that they'll stay in place when she glues the envelope together. She folds the bottom flap up first, then glues the side flaps to the outer edges of the bottom flap. Then she closes the top flap and glues it shut. You could also leave the envelope open, put a miniature card in it, and attach it to the box with the flaps out. Karen's putting the address side out, so she writes the recipient's name on the envelope. To finish off the rose, Karen twists the two floral wires from the fern and the rose together. She wraps the rose with the plastic she cut from the package of stickers. Any sheet plastic will do, though. For our first video, she used the window from a box of pasta. She wraps the rose, trimming the plastic to size, and then she ties it with thread to hold it in place. She needed an extra hand from me to get the knot tied. I can't show you that because I was the cameraman and I only have 2 hands. Karen ties ribbon around the wrapped rose to make a nice bow. Karen used silk ribbon because she likes the way it drapes, but you can use any ribbon you like. The ribbon needs to be long enough to get a good grip for tying the bow. The excess will be trimmed off later. After all the pieces are done, it's off to the hot glue gun to put them all together. You'll notice that Karen is using a smaller envelope. She decided that the first one she made looked out of proportion to the box. Karen glues the rose and the card onto the front of the box. A toothpick helps her control the amount of glue on the card. With the front of the box taken care of, Karen turns the box over and hot glues a pin to the back. Then it's back to the table to trim the ribbon and glue it in place so that it will stay neat. The finished piece makes a great gift for Valentine's Day or any time. We'll be making more videos soon, so be sure to subscribe. For more information on this and other miniature craft projects, visit us on the web at onasmallerscale.com.